Welcome, friends. Today we are going to be talking about compatibility, specifically what it is, what it looks like, and how becoming more aware of areas of compatibility and incompatibility can actually help your relationship. Before I jump in, please make sure if you're interested in learning more about love and life and relationships that you hit the subscribe button. Also, y'all, this is a brand new channel, so please help me out and like, comment, and share the content with family and friends so that they can also be learning about all the same wonderful, juicy stuff that you're going to be learning about. Okay, so let's jump in. In a nutshell, when two people are compatible, it basically means that various aspects of who they are, what they believe, and how they behave complement or match each other. Now, this doesn't mean that you literally agree on everything or 100% the same. First of all, that's impossible. Second of all, that's quite boring. But it does mean that there are lots of areas where they mesh and match each other. So we're going to talk about these areas today. When we talk about compatibility, I want you to keep in mind that there's a continuum or a spectrum, right? So every relationship that you have has a different amount of compatibility. There's everything from like low compatibility all the way up to very high compatibility. Higher compatibility means you match each other or mesh with each other in more areas than not, right? And so the higher compatibility you have, the easier your relationship is going to feel and the easier it's going to be to overcome obstacles and conflict and disagreements in your relationship. So what are the four areas? The first one is temperament, okay? So temperament basically is like how you're naturally wired to respond and to react to the world around you. It's how you approach life, right? So if your temperaments match each other or mesh with each other, you're going to have a much easier time. Let me give you an example. Let's pretend that you are just super chill, relaxed, easygoing. Your partner is a little more high-strung and maybe stresses out super easy or blows everything up all the time, right? So these are two different ways of approaching life and people and relationships, okay? If you're super easy chill and you're okay with, like their high energy and blowing everything up, that means your temperaments probably mesh. You complement each other. Now, if it bugs the hell out of you and every time they blow up, you're just in your mind, you're like, what the heck? I just don't understand. Like, why are you making this such a big deal? Over time, that's going to cause friction in your relationship. So that's what I mean by temperaments. Do your temperaments mesh and complement each other? Let's see, what's next? All right, values and goals. Do you share similar values and goals? Again, they doesn't have to be exactly, but are you going down the same path? Are you going in the same direction? This is really important because your big life decisions and your small daily decisions reflect your values and your goals, okay? And every decision that you each make individually and together as a couple have an impact overall on your relationship. So the more you have in common there, the better. The third one is interests. Do you enjoy doing some of the same things? Maybe not all the same things, but are there things that you have common interest in? Believe it or not, how you spend your free time actually does have a pretty big impact on your relationship, especially over time, okay? So couples who have things that they like to do together and things that they share tend to have a better outcome and enjoy their relationships more than couples that don't really have any interests or commonalities in terms of free time and things like that. I want to throw in a side note here. If you are dating, please do not pretend to like something that you don't actually like. That is going to backfire on you down the road. And I can't tell you how many people I've worked with that this is exactly the scenario. One of them pretends to like something that the other one likes because they want the person to be attracted to them more and like them more. Down the road, this can really cause problems in your relationship. So if you're doing that, please stop. And if you're not doing that, please don't start. Okay, number 4, intimacy. This is a really big one. When I'm talking about intimacy, I'm talking about emotional intimacy and physical intimacy, okay? Do you desire the same type and amount of emotional and physical intimacy? How much communication do you both want? What types of conversations do you enjoy having? Does the other person like that too? What's your sex drives like, right? So when one partner has a really high sex drive and the other partner has a very low sex drive, that will cause problems in the relationship. Their intimacy desires are not compatible, okay? So these are the 4 areas that I really want you to take a look at in your relationship. Now, you can be in love and not be compatible, and you can be compatible and not be in love, right? So the trick is choosing someone who you both are compatible with and that you love, or eventually you will fall in love with. So what should you do if you're in a relationship and you love this person and you're realizing now that there are lots of areas where you're incompatible? I have 3 things for you. The first one is to take some time and really consider and think about the relationship and what you want out of your relationship and what you want out of your life, okay? When you're making decisions about relationships, you're gonna have a better outcome in the long term if you use your head and your heart, not just your heart, okay? So you need to use your head and your heart. Now, let's say you contemplate this and you decide, yes, you want to stay in the relationship and you want the relationship to work, but you acknowledge that there are some areas of incompatibility. This is my suggestion, is to really start noticing where those areas are starting to cause problems in your relationship. You're going to notice it because you're going to start like having disagreements kind of around the same thing over and over again, okay? Because you're incompatible in that area. So I want you to notice that when it's happening, and then talk to your partner, like come up with strategies of, hey, you know, this is an issue we keep having. Like, how can we meet in the middle? Is there a compromise? What can we do to, you know, to overcome this area in our relationship? And the last one is invest the time to learn how to manage conflict. When you can resolve conflict in a healthy way, it actually helps strengthen and preserve your relationship. Okay? Couples that don't know how to deal with conflict will absolutely destroy their relationships. So please take the time to notice the areas of incompatibility, talk to your partner about them, try to come up with like a meet in the middle kind of a thing. And then the last one was really to invest in yourself and your relationship by learning how to overcome and resolve conflict in a healthy way. All right, y'all. So what I want to leave you with is this. If you do not know how compatible you are, you know, couples that tend to have high compatibility kind of already know that. If you're on the fence, you're unsure, I did create a compatibility quiz for you. You can find it on my website, www.kahoskins.com, or you can follow me on Instagram, Carrie Hoskins Coaching, and I have a link in the bio that takes you directly to the quiz. It takes about 2 minutes. All right, y'all, that is it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this quick 8-minute lesson, and I will see you next week.